All right, hey, it's Hunter Dawkins here. This is my Module 4 discussion. We're about halfway through the class. Um, First question was, after watching the film Hungry for Profit, how is your ideological framework regarding migrant workers, uneven economic development, and multinational agribusiness and undocumented labor disrupted? And how does global hunger impact immigration? To put it pretty simply, these agribusiness corporations, these massive businesses, they will put out the landowners in order to make a profit and forcing the landowner to make cents on the dollar for their hard work. Part of the video, they were talking about the soybean farmers or the black bean farmers, and he's like, it would take 5 days of work and pay just to buy one bag of manure. Which he says is the reason why they can't grow black beans, because you have to have the manure and the fertilizer to do that. It's because the agribusiness corporation has pushed them out, and now they have to they're forcing them to work. In order to make money, they have to work the land, and they make $3 a day, $3 American a day, or what's the equivalent of that. Simply because they can't do anything bad about it. They can push back. They can rebel. They can have these social movements, but nothing's gonna change because these agribusinesses hold so much power. These corporations go to these third world countries in order to produce their product much cheaper than they would in America. And that goes to that, but it also goes to the climate of these certain places. Certain crops grow better in certain areas. For instance, in my class, we talk about the tobacco production with the colonies. When the Great Britain valued the American colonies so much because of the tobacco that was produced in Virginia due to the swampland, the humidity, and how much smoother the tobacco was. These agribusiness corporations are the same way. They see that they're getting a much better product for a much lesser or cheaper price, and they have the power to push people out and continue to make money and do what they do. And then how does the global hunger impact immigration? When you start pushing these people off their land and they're not allowed to, they're not able to grow their own food or make enough money, they're going to naturally go where the food is. They're going to find a way to get to another place, and the other place is usually going to be the United States, because they're going to come here and they're going to try to make a living here in order to be able to feed their families. The next one, after listening to the podcast Wild and Busted, how would you apply the concepts of hegemony, ideology, and power to what you have witnessed? These immigrants want to escape violence, poverty, and a slew of other issues in their home countries, and see America as an opportunity to do that. They want to work hard and earn what they have. Now, while there are plenty that don't do what they're supposed to do or what is right, many of them are doing right, are being surveilled under a system similar to the Panopticon and forced to be deported and trying to simply earn an honest living here. And I don't believe that should be the way it should be. I think if you're trying to do what's right and trying to live here and trying to get citizenship the right way, then you should be able to stay here. I feel like we deport way too many people who are doing what is right and what is necessary in order to have a honest living here and just make better for their families. How do you see the Panopticon working in these two contexts? Do schools operate in a similar way? Can educators refuse such surveilling technologies? Why not? The Panopticon, in my opinion, is a theory that operates under fear. The immigrants are under constant fear that they'll be arrested because they don't know if they're being watched, and they don't know if they'll be arrested and deported. For example, in the podcast, Wilden, he didn't think he was going to be deported. He left for school to go do something he loved, to do something he was enjoying. And when he left for school, he was taken in and almost deported. And they go on in the podcast to say after he was deported like that, the attendance dropped in that homeroom in that class that had many immigrants because they were fearful that they were going to be next and be deported next. I believe schools do it to an extent. However, I believe that at the end of the day, we as educators want what's best for the students, no matter if they are immigrants or not. We form relationships and bonds with these students. We just want what's best for them. I mean, you got an example that Ellen, Wilden's teacher, fought for him to be released in order to be able to continue his life here in America and apply for citizenship or apply for asylum. And I believe that we can refuse surveilling tech, but only for so long until we're required to do or risk being reprimanded or fired. I don't believe in them coming into the schools and getting any information from teachers, because there's a confidence and a relationship there that is null and void, and um, I don't believe we should have to uh, give up those relationships and those confidence and those things told in confidence with these students. I think we should be able to allow to simply just teach them and try to teach them the best we can to make them the best citizen they can be. I'm interested to hear y'all's discussion. This was for me a pretty long one. So I look forward to hearing y'all's discussions and your comments.